Hey guys, so this is Mega Snow Lizard doing another review. This time I'm doing Human Alliance Roadbuster. That's this guy right here. And here is Bumblebee, Human Alliance Bumblebee. And here's a size comparison between the two. They're matching right on the backside. Roadbuster has a little bit more length than compared to Bumblebee, but a little bit less height. So he makes it up for length, but the height-wise, he's a little bit less if you don't count the spoiler in the back. But I'm not be focusing on this guy because we already did him before. Our focus will be on Roadbuster. There's a couple gripes I have with him real fast. There's some exhausts over here that you see are empty, but this one over on this side is full or filled with plastic, so it's not consistent really. And there's a silver piece of plastic. There's silver plastic, not plastic, but the paint on this side, but they don't make it. They don't extend it throughout all this gray plastic over here. Another gripe: the doors don't really sit all the way inside with the vehicle. As you see, there's a little bit of gap between the door and the windshield and the roof of the car. I don't really like that. Couple neat things. You could actually rotate these things out, the headlights, and expose a little bit of guns. But I prefer the headlights because he already has enough guns. A couple other things. With the transformation, I really don't like these green bits that cover up the wheel, but it does make the robot look a little better. Okay, let's not waste any time because every time when I tried to review this, it went longer than 20 minutes. So let's go open the door, pull out the main character. Oh, not the main character, but the human sub-character. Put him all over to the side because we don't need him. I tucked the saw in here, but there's no other place for me to put it. Right between the seats. And pull that one out. Also, I'm going to pull out the jet engine, or whatever you want to call that, on the back. And I do not have the missile for it. But let's go with the transformation. You just open up the doors first, like so. Then you want to unpeg the front half from the back half, and they connect at the seats. So after you do that, you just want to pull up the seats, rest from the rest of the body, and split it. And let's go rotate this out of the way, just so we make enough clearance, because our attention will be on the bottom portion of it for now. Okay, so you want to do split them in half with the legs. Then you want to pull it out slightly, not too much, just so you can actually fool around with it. Then you want to rotate it at this pivot point right here. So after you do that, you bring the legs down. And right now it's kind of a mess, but that's what we have to start off with. Okay. All right. Then you want to rotate these half spoilers in. You want to raise up these green bits up as far as you can. No, not as far as you can, but just only a little bit's fine. A little bit for now. There we go. Then, if you haven't done so already, there's these feet on the bottom. You just want to pull them out like that, like that. And as you see, they're facing the wrong direction. So you want to rotate them at the shin. There we go. You want to straighten out the leg a little bit more. Just a little bit at a time, you know. All right. Straighten them out. Straighten them out. After you do that, there we go. So this basically will lock down, that part will lock down, but as you see, it's not complete yet, because on the back there's this tab right here that connects with this ridge right here. So you want to take your time and snap it in place. Okay, so then once you do that, then you can fold these parts in. Well, you need to put your hand on something when you push that in, but it's kind of hard to push into place. So basically the legs are done with lots of kibble on the side, which I don't like. This side kibble, and you see this green stuff, but what can you do? Alright, and now for the not so pleasant part. So this part over here, you just want to extend this part out. You could grab it by the wheels, but as you see, I just extended everything out, so it's all butterflied pretty much. Okay, now we'll just flip this whole thing over, like so, because now we'll be focusing on the front. You could actually remove these. These are tabbed into place, the bumper. So you just want to loosen that part up. Or I could do it later. Okay, basically there's pegs and peg holes right here, right next to this Impala sign. You just want to pull it forward and up. But for me, it's kind of hard to do because everything's really set in there. There we go. And after you do that, you just want to rotate this whole thing and just put it flush against the windshield. So right after you have that, there we go. I guess that creates a little bit less tension, so you can actually pull these bumper parts out. You want to pull this midpoint right in front of the engine down, and then down again until it locks. Then you'll see this gray tab, but we'll go into that very shortly. You want to raise up these headlights, just get them out of the way for now. Then you want to accordion these green bits out, parts of the hood, up and out, up and out. After you do that, that'll give you enough space for the head. So you want this gray piece right here, that's part of the engine, you want to pull it up as far as you can. Then you want to pull out the head, which is kind of hard to do, especially on my figure, I don't know why. There we go. So after you pull out the head, you want to put this gray piece engine part back, then you want to connect it with the head neck piece right here. So after you do that, remember this green tab, the gray tab, it'll connect into the waist right above the legs. This black piece. So basically, you have that. And now, you have the top half and the bottom half all together. Alright, so let's go focus on the arms. The arms are kind of messy, but what you have to do is just do everything opposite what the joints are already set. Okay, so let's go. You see this part right here, the seat, you want to rotate it up all the way, and you want to rotate the seat part up. And then you could just fold this down, just get it away. Same thing on the other side. Once again, the seat part down here, just rotate it up, up. Then the seat, rotate that part up, and you can just collapse that part down. Okay. So right now you have these shoulder seat things that are way above his head, and you have his arm doors just sitting there. But okay, so we have that pretty much set for now. At least I think it's set. But let's see here. Now comes a little bit harder part that you guys have to focus on. There's the chest area. What you want, you see this peg hole and that peg right there. Sorry, peg hole and a peg. So you want to push from behind, and you want to set that in place. Why I say behind is because sometimes it takes a lot of pressure. So now you have these peg holes in the peg. There we go. Then basically you want to raise up these green tabs again, because you want to put the headlights down underneath it. It'll be down flushed right underneath it, so there should be no gap. Then for this green collar part, you just want to bend them down. You want to bend them down only because you want to create enough clearance for the head to move side to side. Alright, so the torso and the legs are done practically. And now let's go clean up the arms a little bit more. Okay, so there's this rotation bit right between the wheel and this dark gray piece. You want to rotate that down. So once again, there's a rotating piece between the gray piece and the wheel. So you want to rotate that part down. And from this part, you can actually use this car seat and cover up the wheel with it. You can actually rotate this green part down, but it's really hard to move, so I'm going to just leave it. I'm kind of fed up with transforming this thing so many times and not being able to do it within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So I'm going to skip lots of the minute details, which I don't think are important. And then on the inside, you see that this gray tab. It'll go into this darker gray grippy tab thing. So you just raise it up, and it'll lock the shoulders basically into place. Okay, so now we have the shoulders done. Now we have to just clean up the hands. We just extend these hands out. Extend the hands out. And the thing is, you won't be able to bend the elbow without doing this part. You see this huge gray piece right here, this panel, and the smaller panel. You want to click it twice in. And the rest of the door you want to bend, like so, and then you want to bend it once more so it's tucked in underneath the arm. And then you could actually close off this weird piston joint, whatever. Okay, so now you could bend it at the elbow. Once again on this side, rotate this panel in twice. 1, 2, bend it here, then bend it once again to surround the arm. And close that piston joint, then you can bend it at the elbow. And this guy, Human Alliance, does have plenty of mech tech points. He has 2 up here. He has 2 right here on the bicep. That's from the vehicle mode. And he has 2 on his forearms. We could use to actually plug in his saw sword, and then his engine cannon thing. And that's basically Roadbuster right there. He does have, you could actually put this guy and you could transform this part back into a seat and put him on, or you could actually put him on the back of Roadbuster by forming this thing up. And you see that cannon? Yeah, you could just bend this part down, flick this part out to make a little seat. There you go. And there's a couple of the feet pegs on the windshield, but I'm not going to do that. Listen, for me it doesn't really sit that well. Alright, so there he is in all his weapons and stuff, and I'm going to put his mini human character right over here. Hopefully I could get him to balance. There we go. Let me put the camera down a little bit, maybe too far down. That's good enough, I guess. So there you are. Here's Roadbuster. He cannot grip anything with his hands, even though his hands look cool, and his hands still have an articulation. His shoulders do have a certain amount of articulation, but they could only rotate to a certain point because there's this plastic tab that gets in the way from it going up any further. But it goes up pretty well. That's how far the arm goes up, and that's fine. And it also has the same restriction when you put it all the way back, but I don't think you need it any further back than that. The head only rotates side to side. You can actually lift this up, and there's a trigger on the back, so you can actually fold up. You can actually fold up the glasses or put the glasses down. Close down the cap. He doesn't have any waist articulation, but it basically locks in place. He has a bicep swivel. He has an elbow. He has a little bit of hand articulation, but that's due to the transformation. He also has his legs go in and out, up and down, out and in. He doesn't have a thigh swivel. He does have a single knee that bends pretty far, as you see there. It goes like 90 degrees. And then he does a big, I know he doesn't have thigh swivel, but he does have a, due to transformation, the what do you call that? You know what I'm talking about, this rotating swivel point. Alright, so this is Megasnosis cutting off at 13 minutes and 16 seconds. That's my record. I usually stuck at 20 minutes. So yeah, so this is Megasnosis signing off. You guys have a great day.